There's a moment I keep thinking about. This just the other night, I actually bumped into three guys who they're all entrepreneurial, full of energy. They're running a business for a couple of years, wanting to start a new thing, exploring a new opportunity that's parallel to it, but definitely it's starting something brand new. And I couldn't help but see myself in them and potentially that temptation to jump ship from what's working. And I can't wait to talk to you about this today. But before we get into it, my name is Oliver Manalesa. I've been guiding high achievers since 2012, helping them end the war within and unlock peaceful prosperity in their lives and businesses. If you are at a crossroads, you're trying to discern what to do next, I would love to have you hop on to a guidance session with me. You can use the link below and I'll hold a sacred space for you to really confront your truth and reconnect with what actually matters to you. So I think sometimes we can confuse progress with pivoting. And I think, of course, we don't want to be attached and we don't want to hold ourselves back. And there are times where we need to pivot. But if you keep pivoting and pivoting and pivoting, you're just going to be going in circles in the end. And, we think that the answer sometimes is to start something new, to add more complexity, to chase a better idea. But often the golden ticket is already in your hand. And I really love this idea of the golden ticket. One of my clients shared it with us in a group coaching call, just that Willy Wonka metaphor, but realizing that that golden ticket might actually already be in your hand, but you're not seeing it, you're not recognizing it. This reminds me of a client that I started working with. He had this creative agency and he was making six figures for so many years. And he was getting a little bit bored with that and distracted with a bunch of other opportunities for sure. Real estate, options trading, crypto. There's a number of things that potentially could have turned into more money or another income stream or to be able to diversify. And of course, when something is new, it's exciting. We have the rose-colored glasses on. We have a little bit of romance around starting something new. But what he didn't see was the fact that his business was the biggest opportunity right in front of him. So when we began our work together, it was really helping him first end the war within, to untangle some of the mess, to remove some of the things that have been draining his energy so that he could finally see what was already in front of him. This business that was proven, that was already profitable, that was already in motion, that was already using his gifts. And in fact, actually, that is probably the most exciting thing, is to be able to see what's right in front of you from a new light. And so what happened was he started to slow down. He looked inward. He started doing the real work of setting boundaries, of honoring the value of his gifts more, of protecting his energy. And that's really when everything started to change. There was a lot less chaos and there was a lot more bandwidth. And he was able to step into the leadership, the visionary, the creative director role that really he's built for, and in just a few short years, that six-figure business that was kind of stagnant for almost a decade, it leaped to $750,000 a year. And the best part of that, like as impressive and worth celebrating as a number like that is, to me, the best part is the fact that he was able to reduce his hours. So imagine more revenue, more alignment, and also more time freedom. To me, that's a beautiful thing. And all it took was him committing to what was already in front of him. So I think we need to check in with ourselves to realize, don't abandon the work that's already working. Yes, of course, if something is not aligned, if it's betraying your values, if it's harming you, if it's taking you in the direction towards a nightmare, then yes, you might need to quit the job. You might need to quit the business. You might need to start something new, but that's all incredibly energy exhaustive to end something and start something new. when sometimes you're just a few tweaks away with the thing that's already in front of you. I think when you're creative, when you're a high achiever, when you are ambitious, it's easy to get bored. When things get hard, when there's more friction, when things aren't, coming as easily as they used to, it's easy to get burnt out. And then when you are scared because things aren't worked out and it's not scaling, it makes sense to start having the wandering eye syndrome, thinking that something else is going to be the answer. But my friend, my invitation for you is, what if that's actually God telling you that, trying to see, well, how committed are you? How fully in are you? Are you going to go deeper? Are you going to dig deeper? And I'm reminded of my mentor who told me, he's like, your level of, you'll be rewarded for your willingness to stick with a problem longer than anybody else. So did the problem just get hard? The problem of business, of providing solutions, of reinventing your offer, of marketing your offer, did it just get difficult and you're going to go start a new problem? Or are you willing to really sink your teeth in it? Because honestly, sometimes that boredom, that burnout, that distraction, that pivot might be a form of self-betrayal. And, the way that you're doing it, and who you're doing it for, there's a lot of things that are actually at play here that you might be able to adjust and modify. And that might, the breakthrough might actually be right around the corner, with the story that I shared with you of my client. And, another thing that I've learned in these 13 years is and more, when things get hard, when things get uncomfortable, when I'm confronted with a breakdown, it's actually a sign that I'm about to evolve, that there's a breakthrough that's about to happen. And as much as, it's unpleasant and no one wants to be hanging out in the valley of despair for longer than you have to, but typically that's where the metamorphosis, that's where the transformation is actually happening. And man, if you chose to be in business with yourself, yeah, it's going to be hard. For me, personally, the last couple of years have been incredibly difficult. The dream clients that I work with, their businesses got completely decimated. Just hurt so badly from so many different aspects of what's happening around the world. And that has trickled into my own business and me questioning, right? For me, I have these moments where I'm asking, am I supposed to start something new? I have this fear. I have this part of myself that thinks I need to start a new direction. This is not working anymore. Maybe it's time that my time in coaching is over. But for me, I fell to my knees and I prayed, and I tried to listen to the best of my ability and ask God, is there something else you want me to be doing? God, do you need my gifts somewhere else? Is there another place where my gifts are needed? Because if that's the case, then you got to show me. You got to show me a path. Let me see, a path ahead. And what I kept getting, even though I'm not fully out of the woodworks, I keep getting the sign that no, I'm supposed to keep going. That I am not done here. And it's so easy to want to just jump ship and start something new and be excited about that. And maybe for some people that is the appropriate thing to do. But for me, I reflect, I'm I've worked so hard, gone through so much, and invested so much into this work. And there's so much unrealized potential there I think there might be just a few little nuances that I need to shift, that I need to change, that are going to lead to that breakthrough that I've been praying for, that I've been begging for. Because, think about it. If you have worked so hard, you've risked it all and went all in into the thing that is already in front of you, that's been working, that has worked, that has fed you, your family, helped you achieve your goals. I mean, there's already so much energy in that asset that needs to be unlocked, that needs to be realized. So sometimes it's not just this major reinvention that needs to happen. Sometimes it's just a reimagining. Take a look at the offer. Take a look at your message. Take a look at who you're meant to serve. Take a look at your boundaries. Take a look at the direction that you are headed in. You've come so far already. There's an ROI that you'll only be able to discover from staying the course. Starting something completely new, you might not, it might take a long time to get to that point with that new thing. And maybe it's really just getting through this season, just weathering that storm and finding those refinements that are so needed. So my friend, my invitation to you, before you start this next thing, ask God if you're really meant to be somewhere else, if your gifts are meant to be pointed at something else or someone else. And if you are not sure, if you need someone to bounce some of these ideas off to help untangle some of the mess that's happening inside of your head, please use the link below and book a guidance session with me, and we'll discern this together. My friend, you might already be holding the golden ticket. You just need to be able to finally see it and recognize it and realize it's in your hands.